This episode of Outdoor Journal Radio is brought to you in part by the Invasive Species Center, protecting Canada's land and water from invasive species. Freedom Cruise Canada, rent the boat, own the memories. And J&B Cycle and Marine, your home for all things power sports, boats, and equipment.
And now, another exciting episode in the adventures of Outdoor Journal Radio.
Thank you. Yes, you're happy to be here with us. We're at the, as you can tell, we're not in the studio. We are at the wonderful, exclusive Franklin. Yes.
Look at us. How did we get
Franklin
here?
Club or Fishing Club, located in Mount Albert, Ontario. And
I've never even heard of Mount Albert before. Have you?
I'll bet the folks listening from Mount Albert are happy with that comment.
Yeah, well, I can't help it, but I'm a pretty isolated guy, right?
I'm Angelo Viola. He's Peter Bowman. The rest of the crew you've met before. You're going to meet somebody coming up here very shortly. His name is Chad Davenport. He is hatchery and grounds manager here at the club. Fascinating gentleman. We had an opportunity to talk to him a little bit earlier today and get some of the lowdown on what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, in front of the scenes,
fish stuff, that's for sure.
Oh,
right?
boy. In front of the scenes, we know what's going on. Back here in that body of water might be the largest biomass of living, well, they're trout. I was going to say living organisms, but these are rainbow trout and some speckled trout. I have never seen so many in a body of water. And this place is teeming with. We want to talk about that, though. Yeah. I haven't seen one. I'm still...
Maybe they'll let you catch one today.
Well, we'll see. Fascinating show. Great club. A lot of people haven't heard about this place. One of the best kept secrets in the fishing world, certainly in this part of the country.
That's why they put it in this place that I've never heard of. See? That's why. It's all secret. It's a covert operation here.
There's people that actually live in this area that have never heard of it. That's how covert it is. Hopefully we can change all that today. But first, let's get to some business, shall we, folks? We are nearing the end. I'm told by store manager Nick that the shop is almost bare. The shelves are emptying out quickly, so you've got a little bit of time, but not much. If you haven't already done so, go to fishingcanada.com or shop.fishingcanada.com if you want to go through the front door, or you can go through the back door, whichever door you pick. Pick one soon before you're going to be disappointed. Everything, pretty much everything. I shouldn't say everything.
You going to close the doors after the sale's over?
No, we're going to open them up brand new again.
So you
brand
close
spanking.
them for a restock, and then that's back open again.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of like the old Barclays days.
The old Barclays days.
The fake closer down and open
that was
up
the best.
again.
That was the best. 6 months of closing the doors.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that was good. In fact,
most of you probably have no idea what he's talking about. But
that's okay.
It's all right.
It was inside for the people that do know.
Yeah, that's all happening at shop.fishingcanada.com or fishingcanada.com, the gateway, the portal to your next fishing adventure. Go there and take advantage of Nick's generosity as he gives the stuff away.
Yeah, he is pretty generous right now, isn't he?
I don't know who's paying for that, but also while you're there, take the poll and tell us what you want to see on in the store as we restock it with new merchandise. It's always nice to get your views and opinions as to what you like.
Yeah.
Because just what we like, it doesn't necessarily cut it. That's why we're having a sale, by the way.
Getting rid of all the stuff that we like is not selling. We got to get the good stuff in that everybody wants, right?
That's right. Season 40 is nicely underway. I think we're into the second cycle, if I'm not mistaken.
Just starting it, yeah.
Just starting
much.
it. Every Saturday mornings on Global Television Network, coast to coast to coast. 8 o'clock in the morning for most of the country. If you're on the left coast, you can actually sleep in till 10. 10:30 in Alberta, 10 o'clock in BC. Sportsman's Channel is playing us 4 times a week, and WFN World Fishing Network in the U.S., I believe 3 times a week, including prime time, baby.
Yeah, you
finally, after all these years, you made it to prime time.
I know.
On WFN.
I know.
8 o'clock.
It took
Friday
a bit of time and a lot of work. It took a lot of effort.
I know.
Catching a lot of fish to do that, you know.
How many fish have we caught in the 40 years that we've been on? Has anybody ever done like there's? I think we could do it by just taking an average of each episode. Say take, I don't know, 100 episodes and take an average of those 100 and then multiply it by the other 400. Does that work? Yeah,
but it's so different. Like Northern Ontario walleye to...
it'd be cool. I think it'd be great.
I don't know.
I'm going to guesstimate.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
that on camera, if we work it all out, I'm going to guesstimate that every half-hour episode on camera has a dozen fish. Would that be a fair
probably. Well,
assessment?
yeah.
Very seldom do we show any more than that.
No, we wouldn't show any more than that.
No.
I'm trying to think
And
of
sometimes less, but I think average-wise, it would probably be 10 to 12 fish.
But some
that half hour.
shoots, we catch 30 or 40 on camera. We just don't use them. So
Right.
you got to kind of count them.
Oh,
too.
you want to count those?
You know what I mean? You're counting them because they're on camera. You don't know what's making the show or not making the show.
Yeah,
so.
I'm tired just thinking about that.
And sometimes we catch one or
Listener,
two.
don't talk about that. We're not supposed to do that. Listener feedback in response to Pete's $100 walleye kit at sale.
Yeah, that's interesting. This
Carry
one.
on.
So the group challenged me. The Fishing Canada group challenged me. They said if you had $100 to go to sale, what would you buy? And put a walleye kit
you have
together.
to spend the $100, right?
Yeah. You got to get as close to $100 as possible. So if you want to see that, it's on our social media platforms. It's on Facebook, Instagram. Is it on?
It's on YouTube as well. Yeah.
YouTube as well, to see what I came up with. But we got other guys now that we have some people that are coming back with their little kits here, and it's quite interesting. So I'll read you a few of these. So Guy from Facebook, he says, a dozen 3/8 ounce jig heads, yellow, orange, and green, 4.5-inch twister tails, yellow, white, and green, and black. Just save $75 for gas, beverage, or food. I love the way they're doing that.
Well, I mean, think about it.
That's smart.
Think about it. That's
Brian
not bad.
Brian via Facebook, give me $100 worth of bucktail jigs in a 1/4 and 3/8 ounce. That's not a bad one either. Not a bad call. And then another Pete via Facebook. I like this one. This is really good. Green jig heads, $5.99. 4 pickerel rigs, $7.96. Tub of minnows, $9. 4 2-ounce weights, $7.96. He's pricing these out. Total cost, $30.91. Leaves $69.09 for beer and jerky.
I love it. He's
Friggin'
right.
love that.
He's
PD.
right, though.
That's awesome.
I mean, think
now,
about it.
what I failed to do on that challenge, by the way, and as I said, $100, but what I was challenged was a $100 gift card from sale. That makes a difference. 'Cause
Why?
now you can't sell it on beer. You can't do that. now you got to put
as
your $100.
opposed to-
You know,
got you.
you know what I mean, like that. So I should have. If they'd have told me a $50 sale card and a $50 beer store card, I know how I'd have spent it too. I'd had no
You'd
problem
be
with
short
that.
of baits at the end of that one, I'll tell you that. Now, did you go in and scout it out first? Did you,
No.
kind of do a flyby and say, okay, when I do this piece, I'm going to,
Just section wise, eh? Dean was with me.
Yeah.
Really, it was pretty.
We
off
tried
the
to price it out-ish ahead of time because you realize how quickly that can go.
$100
Right.
is quick.
So you have to have a strategy kind of when you're picking.
$100 doesn't
Yeah.
go anywhere.
Yeah, and I was into the Yozuri department quite a bit, right? And crankbaits they're up there, right? But they're reasonably priced for Japanese crankbaits. So I did my little Yozuri thing first, then I went off and did some plastics and stuff like that. So that's just what I would. I mean, it's interesting to get the people that are piping in on it and all that. It's pretty cool, actually,
Yeah,
the way
I
it
like
is.
it.
So we're gonna do more of them, by the way. We'll
I
do a
was
bass one,
absent.
smallmouth, largemouth. Well, you're up next, buddy. Don't you worry.
I was absent on that
You're
one.
gonna do, and then we got maybe.
I didn't get the
opening days,
$100
closing
gift
days.
card. Nobody gave me a gift
I
card.
put it all back because I didn't have the money.
Conservation Corner brought to you by grass carp, right?
yeah.
That's what it says there, but that's
Yeah.
not true. Brought to you by the Invasive Species Center, and the importance of today's Conservation Corner. It's magnified because we're sitting in front of the most pristine little body of water I have ever seen. Pristine because it is totally controlled. It's managed and controlled to the last detail. Unfortunately, most of our wild waters and wild areas are not. And sometimes things happen, like invasive species. That's why it's important that we bring you this story that's happening around our waterways each and every week until it no longer is a problem. Not sure how that's going to happen, by the way, because it's not pending now. It is here. We have evidence that it is here. It has arrived, as they say.
It's arrived.
And we're talking about grass carp. So I think the only thing we can do now is be vigilant as we go out. The season's just starting. Ice is almost gone in most of the lakes in central Ontario anyways. We can assume that when we go shallow water fishing from here on in, there is a pretty good chance that we might encounter one of these fish. And the thing is, if you don't know what it looks like, if you don't know anything about it, the opportunity for you to make a difference will come and go. So, yeah, it might sound like we're harping on this every week, but it is extremely important.
Ultra important.
I mean, just think about. I know there's a lot of people saying, "Oh my God, you guys with this invasive species and the thing." It's important to keep waters like these behind us here at the Franklin Fishing Club pristine as they are. We need to do our part. So I need everybody to go to the invasivecarp.ca site and download all of the information that you might need.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't it be great? I know we said this before. Maybe not great, but I think it would be great.
No, it'd be great. They're here. To encounter one, is that what you're going to say?
Yeah,
I think it'd be
just
great.
to see what goes on.
And,
I like to see
do our part and show it on camera. We could, you know what I mean?
I think it'd have to be an R-rated program, wouldn't it, to do that?
We'd be gentle. We'd do a gentle euthanization into these.
I've heard that before. Anyways, go to invasivecarp.ca, folks, and get yourself well armed with the information that you require. In the news, brought to you by J&B, your outdoor superstore, J&B Cycle and Marine. Ontario, Canada's, the world's largest Mercury Princecraft boat dealer. That's all they are. Since 1970, they've been servicing anybody who is interested in putting together the right package for their needs. All you have to do is go to jbcycle.com and check them out.
You think we'd have this invasive carp and JB down by now, right? The websites, but we always
Not
have
a
to,
chance.
we have to
Not
look.
a chance.
Is that age? You think, Dean, is that age?
Yeah.
I seem to have, ever since I've been hanging around you guys, I've been having problems too. So I don't know.
It's rubbing off. Buddy.
Contagious.
You should be so lucky.
Oh my God! Sorry, buddy. Sorry about your problem.
So in the news, and it's great that we're here today. I'm assuming that you took this story today because of where we are.
Yes,
and,
I did.
We are in it, as I mentioned before.
Dean knows now. Dean's been
Franklin-
around long enough now to know too how to answer you. So no matter what it is.
That's right. He knows the answers. He's smart boy.
Yeah.
We are at the Franklin Fishing Club that is so pristine and so well managed and controlled that even there, because they raise their own fish, they hatch their fish, they raise them, and then they put them in this waterway that you see behind us. Well, while you're doing that, I mean, there's going to be fish waste that you got to deal with. Mm-hmm. And even that, these folks look after before that water gets back into our system. So it probably, the water goes back into the system cleaner than when it came out of the ground, because most of this water behind us is well water or spring
fed
water. Because the story has a lot to do with that. A new study published in Environmental Pollution found that wild fish in Ontario's Grand River, which I always thought was kind of a pristine-ish,
pristine, nice Fergus area, looking clean, looking water anyways, right?
are contaminated with human pharmaceuticals, including fentanyl.
Well, see, this makes sense because you know what? It could still be clean water, but this is now human influence again, right? So... Oh, God. Yeah, fish living downstream of wastewater treatment plants are most affected, showing significantly higher drug concentrations than upstream fish.
That's weird. Where's the drug coming from?
Well,
So
Like a
apparently the
crackhead Bob's
the
in there fishing.
wastewater plants aren't made to filter out pharmaceuticals. They were never designed for that. So like things like antidepressants and birth control and fentanyl, apparently, they tend to make it through those. So that's how they end up in our water.
But how do you, what is the fentanyl drug and how does it get into the river? Is it in the toilets? People put it in toilets, and does that go in the river? I can't see that. Does it go in the river from the toilet, or?
I'm not sure on the fentanyl. I've never. I don't have much experience.
Oh, sure, Dean. That's so weird.
Estrogen is another byproduct that makes its way into some waterways. In fact, there was a study a few years ago about how much of that is being spilled into our waterways and how it's affecting fish. So it is a problem. There 19 different drugs were detected in water samples recently, including, as Pete said, opioids, stimulants, and antidepressants.
Yeah, that's just boggles my mind.
Yeah.
Because if it gets into that water system, they're literally, you can't pee that stuff out, right? It's if you take an antidepressant, I'm assuming it does its work in you, and then you pee out pee. No?
I have no idea.
So somebody's
clearly-
disposing these drugs
clearly
into
not.
water or something. Is what it
Clearly
sounds
not.
like.
Anyways,
Somehow.
to get the full story, go to fishingcanada.com. That's fishingcanada.com and read all about it because it's pretty interesting. I don't know whether we can do anything about it, but we're going to find out here in a few minutes how these folks take care of all that stuff before they contaminate waterways. Fan question of the week submitted by Coolidge4EG via YouTube. Now, is this one of those deals where we can give something away?
This is a contender.
YouTube.
A contender.
Ooh, son. Good one.
All right. Let's see what we can do.
For those bites on a pike, for bites on a pike, I'm assuming, for
For those bites on a pike. For those bites
is there
on a pike.
anything that I can have on me that can be applied to help those wounds heal? I always feel bad that I can't help them. I mean,
So he's saying the bites on a pike's body.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, like
we
those big
assuming.
scars.
that we're all. I've got a theory about that. Because another fish that often comes up and we say, "Oh, look at those scars on the fish," is a lake trout,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I have a theory about that. I don't know whether it's right or not. It's my opinion only. Those two fish are notorious for rolling up in your line when you're fighting them.
Those are two that do it.
Right?
The gator roll right
Yeah,
there.
they do that, what you call the gator roll. They roll up in your line. In a lot of cases, for both those species, we're using a bit of hardware, some steel leader or snaps and swivels, metal pieces that have got little sharp edges on them. And I'm just wondering, because it's happening way too often that we catch fish that have got these markings, these wounds, we call them. And I'm just wondering if it isn't from that.
I bet you
that
that's part
roll.
of it. I'll bet you that is part of it.
'Cause it's crazy.
You kind of see that. There'd be a pattern, wouldn't there? There'd be cuts.
Well,
or
a lot of
whatever versus
times,
a
well,
gouge.
Well,
I'm
I don't know.
not
I'm
sure.
just throwing it out there.
I caught a pike on Saturday. I went pike fishing with Burris, and I caught one, and we wanted to keep some for eating. And it wasn't a bite mark on it, but it had so much scum and slime growing off the back of it that we didn't even want to touch it. We plied it off and let it go back. Like it was,
Like thicker than normal?
Like
oh,
mold, like
God,
that moldy stuff that grows
looking
on them.
stuff.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
up like a quarter of an inch off of it, and balls, and oh my God, you didn't want to get close to that.
I've heard
thing.
that's actually from handling as well. When like you,
That could be
like when you
getting
remove
the slime coat.
Yeah. But
That
you-
could be. But anyway.
This episode is brought to you by Sail. Sail is proudly Canadian and stocked with over 100 Canadian brands you know and love.
From rods and reels to sonars to kayaks and every last lure you've seen on the Fishing Canada show, Sail has all the gear to get you on the water.
Drop into one of 12 stores across Ontario and Quebec and talk to the real fishing specialists, or gear up online anytime at sail.ca.
Sail, the ultimate destination for your outdoor adventures.
This episode is brought to you by Angler's Leaderboard and its Spot Mapper feature. Spot Mapper connects your catch data to your spots, allowing you to view your catch history. With Spot Mapper, your locations stay completely private. Only you can access them, so your favorite spots stay your secret. Learn more at anglersleaderboard.com. I got the perfect person to answer
Yes,
this question.
good idea.
He's patiently waiting for us somewhere down there at the hatchery and where they keep all of the inventory here at the Franklin Club. His name is Chad Davenport. He is hatchery and grounds manager here at the club. Chad, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Hey,
Thank
buddy.
you, man.
Thanks for having us here.
Wow. I have to throw this out there first. A lot of folks say that we've got the perfect job. I got to tell you, they're going to have to add you to the Mount Rushmore
Yeah.
heads of perfect jobs.
I'd
'cause,
take
buddy,
Chad's job, for
I'm
sure.
telling you right now, after what we saw here earlier today, you got the goods.
Yeah, man. How much, on a scale of 1 to 10, Chad, how much do you love this job?
11.
Attaboy.
How long you been here, first of all, Chad?
It'll be 4 years in July.
4
Nice.
years.
Nice.
And what's your background?
My background is industrial millwright maintenance and aquaculture.
Wow.
How did you end up here?
Well, I first I did my industrial millwright diploma. That was a 2-year course. And I couldn't find an apprenticeship at the time, it being around in Oshawa. So
Right.
I decided to go into doing underground locate utilities. And I did that for a time being. And if everyone here knows that sometimes workplaces over time, you start to realize, I'm getting over this, and I think I need something that I can wake up every morning and put on my boots. And what would that be? And I said, if I could work with fish. If I could wake up every day and work with fish, I'll be ready to go, be a happy camper every single day.
Very
And
cool.
I decided to reach out to Fleming, and they had an aquaculture program at the Fleming there in Lindsay. It was a post-grad, so I was able to use my industrial millwright to get into there. As much as it's not fish related, there is a lot of moving parts in a hatchery, especially pumps and valves and everything,
Right.
which is related to millwright. So after that, I did that course. I got accepted into it, and then miraculously, this place came up on my feed to apply.
Wow.
And never heard of it. Being from Oshawa, this is only 50 minutes from Oshawa. It's just a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
And since I've been here, I've been very grateful that I've been able to be here for the last 4 years now.
That is so cool. That's a great story.
Yeah, right place, right time.
Yes, it is.
I'm sure there was a lot more hard work involved in that as well, but regardless how you got here, man, you are in the motherland of rainbow trout and speckled trout. Never
Oh,
mind
my
that.
God,
We're
brookies.
reading about the rainbows, but the specks that we saw earlier on in that raceway.
It's
is
pretty
just-
much mind-blowing here at this place. But yeah, especially those brookies like that.
Give us an indication. Bring us through the annual cycle that you work through to keep this place behind us as pristine as it is, and so filled with incredibly beautiful rainbow and speckled trout.
Well, here, without the fish in the lake, we wouldn't have the members. So it all starts at the hatchery. Without the fish, no one will be here. So what we first do is that we get our brood stock. That's the first step. If you don't have any fish to start off in your system, you got to get some broods that are females and males, and then you can start the process from there. We start with mixing our males with our females, mixing the milk with the eggs, and we put them in our incubators. We do the whole process from beginning to end. We let them hatch into alevins. We move them into the troughs, and from then on, we keep increasing their feed. We do their rations. We clean their tanks, and we move on and on. They get bigger and bigger, and we end up grading them. We split them, and they go into larger tanks. And from the larger tanks, they'll end up into the raceways. And by August, we'll have our fish in the raceways that are all in the troughs. And from the raceway, it takes about 2.5 years to get a stock-sized fish here.
Wow.
The goal here is around 3 to 5 pounds. That varies. Sometimes we get 6-pounders, sometimes we get 7-pounders, sometimes we get 2-pounders. And that's part of the place here is that it's above variety. We don't want to be catching the same fish of the same size.
Right.
So we do our best to create a variety of fish, as every raceway has somewhat of a different size. And we mix them in between to get that variety in the lake. That makes the pristine fishing here.
Is there a minimum size that you put in there? Like you said, that 2-pounder. Say one was 1.5 pounds or something. Would that make it in the lake too? Or
It depends. It depends as long as it's a healthy fish. If it's a healthy fish, we count it. It's
Okay.
all right if it fell behind a little bit. We still count because we want variety at the same time, right?
Right. Okay.
So we don't want to grade too fully because then everything will be optimally the same. So we do
Right.
our best to, create diversity a little bit for here at the club for everyone to catch all different sizes of fish because some people like sandwiches. Some people want small fish for a sandwich. Some people like fillets. So you got to make up for a little bit of everything there.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Eh?
How many fish do you stock in the lake behind us
We
each
s-
year?
We stock twice a year. We do
Okay.
one in the spring and one in the fall. The one in the spring is typically around 7,500 fish. Yes, and usually it's
Wow.
1/3 brook trout, 2/3 rainbow trout. And in the fall, we usually hold back one of the raceways so that in the fall we can have 3-year fish that are almost brood size, beginning brood. So that creates a good 6, 7 to 8 pound rainbow going into the lake in the fall time when that is the most optimal time other than the spring to be fishing is the fall.
Right. Right.
Is the reason these fish, because when I was here a couple of years ago, I mean, aside from the numbers and the size, the other thing that I just could not get out of my head is the extraordinary color of these fish. Is it a particular gene pool that you're drawing from? How do you get the colors in these fish?
It is a genetics. There is an art to it. And the genetics really, some of our rainbows here have a genetic with cutthroat trout. And you'll see that on the bottom of their
That
jaw.
explains it.
Yeah.
On the underside, there's a nice orange line or red line kind of thing right into the jaw, and you can tell that this part of the fish is cutthroat. Yeah.
Interesting. Is there a difference in raising brook trout to rainbow trout? Is there one's more hardy, one's harder to do? What's the difference?
If you want to know, I would say a good way to describe it, the behavior of a rainbow trout to the behavior of a brook trout. Here, the rainbow trout are very voracious. They will eat until they roll over. They cannot help themselves.
Like a Labrador Retriever.
You got
like
it.
my Labrador Retriever.
I found them. I was telling this earlier on to somebody. I found that these fish are not your typical rainbows. They're almost like wild steelhead. The way they attack a bait and devour it and fight and come out of the water. It reminds me of BC steelhead. That's the closest I've ever experienced. They're crazy. They're insane fish.
Wow.
Absolutely
So
insane.
what about the brook trout then? What's the difference?
I describe the brook trout as they come to the buffet, they put on their apron, they go and they get their forks and knife and their napkin, they put it to the side, they sit quietly, they ring the little bell, and then they get served their food.
No way.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I would have thought the opposite, honestly. I thought brookies were like browns, like in the creeks that we fish. They're very aggressive. Like brown trout are nasty, right? They're like a muskie almost of the trout world. But well, that's interesting. Huh.
And then the rainbows come in and they just ruin the table. Food's all over the place. It's a food fight by the end of it.
That's a great description. Okay.
Chad, I noticed some of the raceways are covered and some are not. What's the reason for that? You've got these big metal grates over part of it, and then it's open. They both have fish in them. What's the difference?
Well, the one raceways, we have covers on our raceways because we get a lot of predation. We've improved a lot on our predation rate. In the past, for some reason, the herons really love brook trout. I don't know if they taste better than a rainbow, but the herons really decimated our brook trout. And one of the ways to help improve that was to cover them with these metal grates that we get. And they're just fences like you see at the CNE, just parking lot fences, and they fit our raceway really well. And we've dropped down, I'll tell you, the predation in the brook trout about 2 years ago was like 49%.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
We lost half the
Whoa.
brook trout. And ever since then, I got to talk to Kevin. I said, you're losing your money. You're feeding the wildlife right now. So we reached out and we found a member that hooked us up with some fences, and we laid them down and we dropped it down to minimum 9%, even less sometimes.
Okay.
I can't help but think, though, because that's a high number. I'm talking, one out of every two fish that you put in there.
Yep.
Do you guys ever maybe attribute poachers or poaching to any of that?
We do have some suspicion. There are times when I stalk out the raceways and my numbers don't line up with the numbers I have inside the hatchery.
Right.
And I'll have a void. And that void is a little bit of miscount from us counting fish and also from predation. And it's kind of a combined. We can't necessarily tell how much predation and how much miscount. It's kind of a combined, but we do find fish that have wounds from herons. And the worst part about the herons is that they don't actually take the fish out of the raceway. We would prefer them, if they were hungry, to take the fish out. But they tend to injure our fish, and they'll create wounds in our raceway. So we have to really minimize that because it can spread amongst the other fish, illnesses or diseases or sores of any kind of sort. So we absolutely do our best to put up deterrents, to do everything we can. We have one deterrent there that's a motion sensor, and it's like a high-pressure hose, and it just sprays.
Perfect.
And it sprays them
awesome.
away. And another one was, another deterrent was Christmas lights. For some reason, herons don't like green laser lights, or let alone birds, green lasers.
Wow.
Very interesting. So we set up the Christmas lights that are the lazy lights, and we set them up at night, and it actually deters them just as well, too. I kind of make the joke that they have a little party down there when the light's going. They're all oonsin' over there with the fish and with all the party lights. But no,
cool.
It helps deter them away as well because it catches them in the eye, and they get discouraged.
So you got birds. I'm assuming there's mink or otters and stuff like that.
Beavers.
Beavers, yep.
Yeah.
We do. The main ones are herons, minks, and raccoons.
Raccoons,
And
right?
Before the screens, ospreys. The ospreys would dive right into our raceways.
No way.
And I'll tell you, I would stop and just watch them because I'm really grateful that they remove the fish. They actually remove the fish out of the raceway.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. And ospreys are very majestic to me. I always loved ospreys, so I always would let the dive into the fish.
Little
and
collateral damage
that's
there.
it, right? They have a whole lake to choose from, but I get it. They like the raceway.
Yeah.
Hey anglers, want to turn your next catch into a competition? Well, check out Anglers Leaderboard, the new fishing platform that lets you track your catches, join friendly competitions, enter tournaments, and see how you rank against others in your region. Use your phone and the photo measure board to automatically detect length and species. No more guesswork. Whether you're fishing for pleasure or to compete, ALB makes every catch count. What's your ALB score? Well, get Anglers Leaderboard today and start climbing the ranks. Visit anglersleaderboard.com to learn more. Wow. So I'm trying to do the numbers here. So let's say you put 10,000 in.
Yes.
In any given year. That's on top of what was already there. Do you do counts that evaluates the entire biomass in that lake at that point once you put 10,000 in? Like, are we talking about, I don't know, 15, 20,000 fish at any given time in this big lake behind us?
Yes.
Okay.
Man,
we do not have...
That's a lot, man.
It's a lot of fish for a little body of water.
It really is. And
it, and I have to say, it fishes that way too. I don't have a whole lot of experience at stock ponds, although I've heard, stories. I remember as a kid, my dad took us to the very first time to a stock pond. And I think it was after, we were here in Canada for 3 or 4 years, 5 years. He must have heard from work that there was a pond somewhere that you could take your kids and family and have this wonderful thing. Anyways, bottom line is, I remember as a kid going into that, and we had about, because everything we caught, we kept. On shore. We didn't know any better. We're going to take them home and have a fish fry, man.
Yeah,
These weren't big fish. They were small.
Yeah.
And at some point, one of the employees of the pond came walking by, and I guess he was saying, do you know you guys have to pay for those? And it was a shit show,
fish?
man. It was a shit show.
Per fish?
Dom went crazy. So here it works a little differently. This is a member-only fishery, although I was here as a guest of one of your members when I first came. So I know that there's that going on. But do you have any programs that would introduce something like this to kids and youth, young anglers?
we do a little bit. We do have this isn't really open to public,
right?
But people can reach out to our general manager and can pay for the day to come fish if they really wanted to.
Okay. Because I think it'd be a great experience, a great way to hook.
Can you imagine that getting the kids
into
or
fishing,
a classroom or something? You know what I mean?
And you'll see here later on, you literally will catch. If you don't get 10 fish in a 20-minute, 20-minute session, you got to move.
Wow, yeah.
And we're talking big fish, not little fish, right?
Wow. So
I
imagine
can't
a
help,
kid getting onto that.
I can't help but think, man, that would be incredible.
Yeah, that would.
10, 12-year-old kid
just
coming in.
Just a great
and
experience for them. I mean, they'd have that for the rest of their lives. Just even if it's the only time they ever did it, even just to have that. Yeah.
We got to convince Kevin to open it up to other folks.
Kids. What about when the members, Chad? Do they have to have fishing licenses to fish on this property? Is that still a legal requirement?
You do not need a fishing license to be here. We are private property.
And what that goes seasons of open and close?
Seasons?
Year-round. You can fish here year-round, 24/7.
Yeah, they were ice fishing. You said they were ice fishing.
What about then, do you have a limit, a daily limit for a member?
To keep, we have the limit to keep is about 10 fish per month.
10 fish per month.
And we have the most 200 members here capped out. So it's about 20,000 fish a year if they were to keep them.
So my question now, I'm a member and I want to keep all 10 of my rainbow trout in my one trip. And I got 10 rainbow trout in my truck going home with no fishing license on my body. Ooh. And I got 10 trout that anywhere else would be over the limit.
Correct.
How does that work?
You're going to have to show them your Franklin Club membership.
Right.
That's the number one thing. And you would definitely have to probably reach out to us if you want to not get caught with fish. Because that's actually a really good question. I have never been asked that. I never thought about that.
Wow.
And Yes, that's probably what you would have to do is prove that you are a member here. That would be your best bet.
And
Okay, interesting.
on top of that, when I was here last time, I did take 2 or maybe 3 fish home, but they were all cleaned up. There was no skin on them. There was nothing.
Oh,
And it was on the shoulder seasons. Now I'm thinking about that. That was probably a no-no because had I been stopped, there was nothing, no skin left on the fillets.
no skin?
No,
Really?
no,
Oh.
no. So,
Because
yeah.
the members would be doing that too. Probably some members, if there's a cleaning service here. or
There was a
something like
cleaning
that.
station just down here.
Yeah,
where
so they
do
might
it.
do that. So you'd,
Very
Interesting.
important. Very
Interesting.
important. Because of the fact that it operates 12 months a year.
yeah.
It does
It's a
complicate
private place,
things
yeah.
a little bit. But
Anyway.
anyways, enough of the negative. There's so much positive going on
Yeah,
here that
yeah.
I think we can just assume that there's going to be enough education going on here that folks won't get themselves in trouble. How about the type of fishing? I know you can fly fish. In fact, you have some designated fly fishing, 2 lakes, I believe. And then you can use hardware and regular gear in the big lake?
Correct. We have 2 ponds. We have Douglas Pond. That's more of like the southern end of the lake where the inflow comes in. And then it goes into Franklin Lake, which is the main body of water that everybody fishes typically. And then on the northern end, there we have Harrison. And Harrison's a fly fishing only as well. But in the middle here, you can bring your guests, bring your kids. You can spin fish and fly fish. You can do the best of both worlds here.
Yeah, and you have boats too. That was kind of cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
we got puns. They're flat rectangular boats so that 2 people can stand side by side and be able to fly fish on a stable boat. And that's the idea.
And no motors. You have to row them, obviously.
All row. Yep.
Is it a barbless fishery for the spinning fisher?
Yes, it's barbless for any type of fishing
any
here.
fishing.
Everything is barbless. There are some members that put more than 1 hook on. They might have 3 flies on 1 line.
Right. Gotcha.
And I'm
Okay.
not at that caliber yet, but some of these guys are hauling in 3 fish on 1 line. And
like
you can only
mackerel
imagine.
fishing.
You can only imagine what that's like.
No,
Well, that
7-pounders, like
That
5 to
would be
7
crazy.
Got it.
That
Oh
would
my
be absolutely
God.
crazy. in
They'd
this
bust
lake.
line going against each
Oh,
other, right?
It'd be nuts. They're-
They would have a surface fly for like a top water. They would have the middle one.
Oh,
and then they
yeah.
would have one right on the bottom.
That's brilliant.
Oh, they
Think
get
about that.
all depths
Hey,
of the
Diener,
water.
you like that, don't you?
Yeah, I do that for bass actually as well.
Oh, yeah?
For smallies, yeah.
Wow. Look at you guys.
So, Chad, if somebody listening to this podcast is interested in maybe becoming a member, can they come out to the property unannounced and sort of take a guided tour, much like we did this morning when we came announced, but we had a guided tour of the place?
We get both here. We get people in the public that never heard of it, say in Newmarket. People just drive by, see the sign, and they just want to come check it out. We don't recommend walking the property without a badge. Not just for me, but other members will feel like you're a trespasser and you will be asked to leave.
Right.
The best solution is to call the club, reserve a time, and we can do a tour for you on the whole property. We can show you the hatchery, we can show you the grounds. You can even get in a little bit of fishing if you want.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's it. Yep.
Now, you were very generous with your time earlier on, walking us through the hatchery and the whole process, the raceways and the brood stock, which, by the way, the brood stock is just
impressive.
mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But are there any little hidden gems that you can share with us? Like, those little hidden laboratories, maybe 2 levels below ground that you guys do all that experimenting in?
We do our best to make the most pristine fish as possible. We do a really good job of really identifying all the perfect aspects to the shape of the fish to make sure that going forward that we keep those genetics going down the line there.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And I love the fact that there's no automation. This is all handwork, which is absolutely wonderful. We've been exposed to more, we'll call them modern hatcheries, where there's a lot of automation going on, especially for accounting fish and moving fish from one holding area to another. But you guys, it's all hands-on. Right?
It's all hands-on. We look my staff, me and my 2 other members of staff, look at every single fish before it gets moved to the next raceway. And even when we stock the lake, we look at every single fish. It might sound a little tedious, but that's what makes this place so pristine.
I think
I like it.
You know what?
I like that part of it.
I think too, and I don't want to say all other hatcheries and stock ponds, although I would think most. Those fish are generally fed pellets from the day they were born to the day they die.
Right.
And you guys don't do that. I found it fascinating that even at the initial stages, you're not feeding them commercial, unknown processed foods. Everything that you feed these fish are designed for one thing and one thing only, is to get the best out of that particular strain, that gene pool, and make them healthy, strong, big brutes. When you put them back in the main lake here, they're not fed anymore.
You're on
Those
your
are
own,
all
buddy.
on natural food. And I think that's why these fish are so insane. They're just wild. And when you drop 10,000 in at a time, that's got to require an awful lot of natural food to sustain that. So the
God, could you
fertilizer,
imagine?
like this body of water's got to be so fertile.
Yeah.
What's in it? What are they eating?
There's definitely a lot of insects. I'm not a big insect guy. I know a little bit, but nymphs are another main source of their diet here.
Right.
There's a lot of dace minnows in the lake and some stage 1, stage 2 perch when they first get hatched out. And that's mainly their main forage in the spring.
Okay.
And in the fall, you get the mayflies coming in. You get the mosquitoes. You get all the other insects that come flying through here.
Those big
Stoneflies.
fish are not eating insects and mayflies.
black
Okay,
fly.
those,
Got it.
those fish are eating something a little hardier than that. There's
Yes.
got to be aquatic rodents that they're eating.
Yeah, I'll bet you the mice and
frogs.
oh yeah.
Lots of frogs,
Amphibians.
crayfish.
Snakes,
crayfish.
little garter snakes swimming across there. They might even hit that. You never know.
Did you say crayfish?
Crayfish.
Wow, a tube.
Yep.
A tube would just knock those things out. And not that you need to. You don't need any special lures for this fishery. I'm telling you right now.
Chad, is there a ratio if a new member? Is there a ratio of rainbow trout to brook trout? Is there a good chance you're going to get a brook trout on a day of fishing here? A brook trout at least?
There is a chance, yes. Most members catch about 20 in an hour or 20 in about 2 hours of fish
Brook?
total.
Oh,
of just total.
okay.
If you're lucky, you might get 1 in every 4 fish, maybe 1 in every 5 fish. But
That's pretty good.
But again, the brook trout sits in a different area than the rainbow. So if
Okay.
you get comfortable with the lake and you start fishing, you're going to be like, where are the brook trout? All I'm catching is rainbows. That's where you're going to start looking in a different area, and then you'll start picking them up.
I got you.
But they don't necessarily hang out together.
Right.
They are looking for different food sources at the same time.
Interesting.
Yes.
As far as consumption goes, do you get a chance to eat a lot of trout?
I get to try it. Yeah, I'm not a big fish eater, but I definitely have tried our fish. Yes.
Okay, because I've tried the rainbow and it is spectacular. I was going to ask, what's the speckled trout like?
From what I've been told, it's very good. I'm not exactly. I never had the brook trout myself. Mainly, most people here release the brook trout. It's not really a catch and keep fish. It's more of a commodity, and you know, people just love to catch them from the colors, the fight on them.
Yeah.
They don't. It's not really a popular eating fish here.
Funny,
It's the rainbow trout they go for to eat.
I'd have a hard time
I
filleting a 3-pound brook trout. No
I
problem
know.
with the rainbow,
Yeah.
but I'd have
Isn't
a
that
hard
wild?
time putting a knife into it. Yeah.
Even here,
Yeah.
yeah.
Still would. Yeah.
They're so beautiful. Right?
Yeah.
But so is the rainbow trout. Wait till you see these things up there.
yeah.
You say, oh my God, that is spectacular. Anyways, it's been an absolute pleasure being here. We're going to wander around the property a little bit longer. We might make our way back down to your neck of the woods at the other end of the lake at the hatchery. But if we don't, just want to thank you so much for helping us out today and being
Commend you on a
so
great job being done too.
hospitable and generous and all that stuff. It's fantastic. And now you have told an audience about your job. Now there might be a lineup. At
All
the
the
front
millwrights
door.
are going to the bed.
There you go.
Sir Zanford now.
Chad, thank you very much for joining us, my friend.
You are so very welcome, and thank you for having me here. I am so grateful to speak to the 2 legends of the fishing world.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Chad Davenport, hatchery and grounds manager here at the Franklin Club, the fishing club, the ultimate fishing
The
club.
impressive fishing club.
So we keep calling it a club and not calling it a stocked fish pond because it's not. Because the club part of it, you really get to experience and understand when you walk into the clubhouse, which is directly in
man.
front of where we're sitting right
It's
now.
cool.
The only way I can describe it, I think I did when I came back a couple of years ago from this place, is that it is a golf country club.
Yeah.
For fishing.
That's what it looks like.
Has all the same amenities that you'd find at your. It's got lockers downstairs. You've got, bathrooms. You got just like you'd walk into a golf club.
Absolutely.
What I really love about it, because they're not licensed here at the club, there is a
The
locker
lockers upstairs. They're the best
upstairs
lockers.
behind the bar is a series. I don't know how. Probably I would imagine 200 personal little lockers, bottle size, that the member is allowed to bring a bottle in and lock it up, and when he's here, she's here, they can have
That's so cool.
a drink.
That's so cool.
What a great concept. I
love
it. Dean, did we miss anything last minute?
No, I think that's great. I know by the time this airs, our Garmin 16-inch live scope contest. Actually,
16-inch live scope.
it's just the screens. Sorry, it's the Echo Map.
Ah, you got me
The
going.
16-inch
Ooh,
Echo Map,
more.
which we do have with us today, so you might see something on that if you're watching this on YouTube. We have a contest on right now to win that. I think you have about a month and a half to enter, but the people who win the contest normally have like 150, 200 entries, so you should start now and start getting them in every day.
Trust me,
Increase
you
the
want an
odds. You wanna win
impressive,
this thing.
impressive fish finder in your boat. That 16-inch Garmin is Echo Map is a beast. That's
a
for
monster.
sure.
Well, we're going to be experiencing that on this lake later on today.
We're drop it in and get some footage.
We're going to drop it down and see what we can see. I know what we're going to see.
Yeah.
You're not going to see any open water because it's just bodies of fish just all over the
Let
place.
that bodies hit the floor.
But we're going to put it to the test in one of these small rowboats out here. By the way, the Franklin Club is located at 72 Franklin Road, Mount Albert, Ontario. You can give them a shout at 905-473-1469 if you want to get more information on becoming a member or just coming out here and have a look around. The nice thing about this club too, although it's a members only club, you have to access it all. They're very generous with their time and their property, and I don't think they turn people away if you want to come out here especially with a kid, and access the property and walk around. Just being out here feels so good, man. Feels so good.
Very cool
Great
place.
vibe at this place. Did you notice that?
Yeah, and the people are amazing.
Yeah.
They've treated us great. So.
Anyways, that are it. I want to thank everybody for joining us once again. Keep an eye out, as Dean said, for any contests that are coming up. FishingCanada.com is probably the best place you can do that. While you're there, you can drop into our store, which is clearing out all the old and bringing in the new. Store manager is funding it all the discounts.
He's doing some work on it right now.
I
see
know,
that?
he's trying to collect money from somebody out there.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you very much for the entire crew. He's Peter Bowman, Nikki V, Mr. Dean Taylor over here struggling with the sunlight on his board. I can tell because I haven't heard him push one button today that I was...
He's trying right now.
I know he is.
The
It's too
board's
late.
seizing
It's
up,
too late.
see?
It's the sunlight.
Look
It's
at him.
distorting.
He's panicking now.
I'm Angelo Viola, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time. This episode of Outdoor Journal Radio has been brought to you in part by the Invasive Species Center, protecting Canada's land and water from invasive species. Freedom Cruise Canada, rent the boat, own the memories. And J&B Cycle and Marine, your home for all things power sports, boats, and equipment.